Hey guys, I am back. This is a new series. This is what if Naruto was saying I don't know how to Shimoneta. I don't know how to say it. I forgot. I had it, but I forgot. But anyways, we're gonna do this new series. This is part 1 for it. And anyways, let's get to it. Okay. Naruto didn't know where he was one moment he was training with the Iro sensei about how to control the fox chakra. The next thing he knew, he was waking up in the hospital, having no clue how he get there. Looking around, hoping to find clues, he has a whereabouts. Naruto smacks his lips. Then turns out his lip and throat was dry. Man, how long was I out for? He asked himself in a rogue voice, scenting up the best he can. He looks to the right and sees a jar of water and glass cup. Forgetting the cup, he reached out for the whole jug and slowly began to drink it all down. He drank it all down. As soon as the water hit his dry throat, he could feel the smoothing effects. At first, he choked a little, but suddenly he charged the whole thing. After finishing the jug, he let out a sigh of relief. Wow, I really was thirsty. I must have been out for days or something. Not expecting to get an answer. You have no idea, brat, replies a familiar voice. Jumping silently, Naruto looks towards the window. Iro sensei, where you came from? Jiraiya sighs, knowing Naruto couldn't change the nickname for it. Puri Sage, I guess. Puri Sage. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that for him. You really didn't remember what you did? Naruto just shivers. Alright, I tell you everything that happened. Making himself comfortable on the window, he began as well. We're trying to train you to use the fox's chakra. You lost control, but before I could try to snap you out of it, or you could have injured me. The connection of the fox chakra, since you have never used it so much at once, made a small opening to the sky, getting you entrance. But before I could do anything, you were smacked into it. I tried to use my hair explain jutsu to try to stop you from going through. But the power from the hole was too much. Even when I use my chakra to stick to the floor, but the floor comes under me and pull me in with you. Shocking to hearing much a thing, Naruto couldn't help but sit there thinking it all and rubbing his head down and the back of his neck. He feels something rubbing around his neck and he feels so weird, ringing like a thing around his neck. What the hell? Before he could say anything, Jiraiya slammed his head over his mouth, stopping him from cussing. Looking towards Jiraiya, the old pervert had an uncomfortable expression as though he was giving a deadly blow. Bow. That's another thing I want to tell you. It turns out we ended up in the other universe. Not only other world, but in the world where perverted things are illegal now. He finished and this part, he was a super pervert. How will he go on living without the pervy side of the force? After the while of soaring at the loss of his research, he suddenly jumped back and realizing something. Wait a minute. With no one knowing about the pervy side, I give more of a chance. Plus, since I got away before anyone could put one of my thoughts so-called masterpieces it means they can't catch me, but it will be fun when they try. This will also give me a chance to discuss myself as well. I guess I have Naruto to thank for my fake name, though I still didn't like it. But the pervy sage is the boom world. Naruto was wondering what was up with the dirty old man. First he was almost drowning in the part. Then he looked through. He was shaken by the lightning. Now he was screaming like he just saw Granny Tsunade in the nude with a big sign saying, "Take me, Jiraiya, I'm yours." Yet he still had a strong grip on Naruto's mouth, even if Naruto tried to bite him to get his attention. He couldn't. The stupid perv had his mouth clamped shut that he could have even opened his mouth, let alone bite. So Naruto started groaning and screaming as best he could, even used his fist on the pervert's face, catching a slight nosebleed and black eye, which managed to get Jiraiya's attention. "What's the big deal, brat?" Jiraiya yelled out, but kept a low level. It wasn't a spy manner for nothing. Seeing Naruto pissed off look with his hand still over his head, Jiraiya realized he had his hand over Naruto's mouth. "Oh, sorry about that, but there's something else you need to know." Still not moving his hand, Jiraiya continues, "You seen this world, the law is cracking down in many perverted activities, from using bad language to give out pervert equipment, books, magazines, stuff like that in the community, to the point there where everyone are forced to wear high-tech devices called peacemakers, or PM for short, at all times, that analyzed every spoken word and had motion sense for any action that could break the law." Naruto widened his eyes, looking at his waist. He saw 2 bands on his waist and couldn't help but think, "What the hell? Why would anybody want to wear these things? I mean, I understand wanting to keep pervy things hidden, but this is too extreme. Wait a minute, why isn't Pervy Sage wearing one?" Jiraiya saw looking at him in confusing, wondering why he sees Naruto looking at his waist and neck. Now realizing what he was looking for, he kept Naruto's mouth shut so he wouldn't yell out. Jiraiya expects, the reason why I'm not wearing a PM is because I managed to run away on a sight, since I'm used to spy on my own, but my body moved by itself, forgetting all about you. The moment I looked back, you were unconscious on the floor with your outfit on its last leg. Before I could go back to grab you, there were too many people with someone calling for help with the rest PMs. So I followed you till you were alone. When you got to the hospital, they said in your room that it'll take a week at most for you to wake up. Naruto was angry at the stupid pervert. He left him because of instincts. Okay, he understood that, but what with his own instincts telling him to fight with Sakura? But since he didn't want to hurt Sakura, he was the best option and began in a new unknown place. Jiraiya had no choice. Also, the old perv was used to being alone on missions. It was obvious why it happened, but Naruto still going to beat the crap out of him, or at least try to. Jiraiya saw Naruto calm down, but still look angry, continue. So, during that week, since it turns out everyone in is a civilian with no ninjas whatsoever, and no one wanted to hurt you, I went off to infiltrate the city. And I must say, minutes the no perv law, it was amazing. Getting Naruto's attention, he explains everything to keep his words T-rated. Since he didn't want Naruto to getting in trouble, he tells him about cars, electronics as much as he can using ninja skills, and he managed to get such of info as he could, which was a lot. When he finished, Naruto was shocked, which let Jiraiya move his hand from Naruto's mouth. Naruto then said in a quiet voice, "What do we do now, Jiraiya?" Now that he knows rules and bad words were forbidden, and with a collar on his waist and neck means he couldn't call Jiraiya pervy sage anymore. Jiraiya rubbed his chin and thought he looked for a place where he could give summoning and go. But for the time being, he forgot the IDs for both himself and Naruto. Get some fake MPs for himself that works and not getting caught, either when he takes them off or wears his pomophotic noams. With Naruto getting thrown into school, yeah, that's way Naruto's will get the knowledge he needed, like maths, science, and other things. With that in mind, Jiraiya had then explained his idea. At first, Naruto was against it, but when Jiraiya told him that every so often he would visit to help Naruto train, while Jiraiya looks around the community, getting more info as well as telling Naruto about the shadow clones, being able to help him with his students' studies. Through when Naruto made a shadow clone, it showed that the clone was the same MPs had the same MP as well, meaning even using them wouldn't help them. So with that in mind, they get started. Look out at Japan and the Japanese government. The pervy sage is coming to turn everything upside down. Naruto's now 16. Couldn't help but sigh. It's been 2 years since he and Jiraiya arrived here, where primitive things are polluted. He couldn't help but think back to what happened. Jiraiya became the pervy sage, hoping around wearing a toad mask, all things, pimping on women, sometimes getting caught on purpose because it was fun being chased by a density squad. His words, not only that, but it turns out even though the both of them still had their names or the summoning contract, they couldn't summon anything but the topo each. Jiraiya couldn't find a fake PM, so with the help of a seal, he managed to fool the PM into thinking he was innocent of any perversion, which Naruto knows for a fact was bullshit. Of course, he couldn't say it out loud. Also, it turns out he couldn't safely remove the MPs without alerting the dictionary squad, so he couldn't have the seal on. So while Naruto had to go to school, Jiraiya went around free, being a super pervert. All he wanted, so being the pervy sage. He also pretended to be normal guy, to fool people, only using his sage clothes for his perverted terrorist rule. By the day, Jiraiya was a televator, working in different places, as well as using a shadow clone to help him keep his identity hidden since he turned off his seals. Fuck. Yet Naruto had to go to school, but because of that, he met someone who helped him arrange to his life in Japan. Of course, he used the background he and Jiraiya came up with, saying his father was an American while his mother was Japanese living in America, but unfortunately, they both were caught in an accident, so he had to live with his grandpa on his mother's side, which Jiraiya hated, but because his grandpa still kept healthy and fit, he had to move around in a lot of his job. Naruto had to move to Japan, where Jiraiya paid for the apartment for him, allowing Naruto to go to school and everything. Naruto changed to athletic built, only more defined. He became more handsome, that no woman would say no to. But considering he's in the world where perverted things were forbidden, he had a normal life. His height became quite tall, 6 feet in height. Suddenly, he felt someone tapping his shoulder. Looking at the person, the guys asked, "Hey Naruto, are you alright?" Naruto just smiles and replies, "Hey, Tonkinchi." Just thinking back to how we met and everything that happened. Turns out Naruto was sent to a school with the third lowest mantle, where he just happened to meet Tondachi, where both become good friends. Even with the other people trying to get Naruto away from Tondachi because of his dad, but Naruto didn't care, and both Naruto and Tondachi became best friends. The two had even managed to get into the most prominent public Morse school in Japan. Of course, Naruto had to help Tondachi. As Naruto has facing Tondachi, his eyes caught something during someone glaring at them both by a guap gorilla-like boy. It kinda made Naruto uncomfortable. Tondachi saw his friend looks to the scene behind him, seeing the same gorilla-like boy, glaring and clenching his teeth at them, making Tondachi uncomfortable as well. Looking at Naruto on his right, Naruto looks at Tondachi and gives a such while whispering, "I didn't know what's up with him. Let's just try to ignore him before something happens." Of course, after saying that, a woman started causing a scene, saying the gorilla-like boy touched her butt, or measures, as the woman called it. Naruto, seeing Tondachi about to help the gorilla boy, stopped him. "Look, I help him, alright? You get out of the situation. Since I'm faster, I'll be able to get away easier," Naruto explained, all while trying to banana around his head, hiding his hair as best as he can, as well as passing his school jacket to Tondachi to hold for him. Just as the door opened, a woman continued, "Like I said before," till she was interrupted by Naruto, Tondachi getting out of the doors. Naruto then explained loudly, in a fake tone, "Excuse me, I was the one who touched your gremlin's exams." Let's get off the train. During the woman off the train with him, the gorilla boy was shocked at the moment, unable to understand what just happened, till he was released and exclaims, wait up!" trying to catch up with the two of the people. All while a woman was telling Naruto to let her go, but didn't listen. Managed to get out the doors before they closed. The gorilla boy ended up getting his face smashed against the glass, with the train slowly pulling away. Naruto let the woman go while the woman complained, Why did you have to get in the way? The woman glared angrily at Naruto, then grabbed the collar of his shirt. I was about to make good money out of him. Of course, both Naruto and Tonichi could tell the woman was buffering about the gorilla boy grabbing her, since the guy was more focused on Naruto and Tonichi. Naruto then says to the woman, I knew you were bluffing. The woman was upset, taking her anger and aiming it to Naruto. She called the guards and told them that Naruto touched her butt, not wanting to get caught. Also, with so many people around, he couldn't use his chakra since he didn't want to explain on. He looked at Tonichi, telling him to meet up later. Naruto ran as best he could, seeing the guards coming from all sides, even the mental attacks. He was about to grasp a smoke pill from his pocket till a woman's voice called out to him. What do you think you're doing? He looked up. He sees a woman with black hair wearing a white cloak with her back to him. Everyone was frozen in shock except Naruto. Tonichi slammed out the exit before this happened. That is till the guards was yelling for everyone and announced, Managers, please advise the situation. As soon as he yelled that, he finished with, Blue snow has appeared, which the woman turns around to, leading Naruto to see she was wearing panties on her face. The now named Blue Snow then started to yell out lame, dirty jokes. It seems like the author don't want to put the words, so I guess I have to do it. You know what? Fuck it. This is different. Now I remember. Cock-a-doodly-doo my pussy. Okay, found it. Alright, there you go. Anyway, let's get to the real one. Sorry. Alright, let's get to that one. Let me click on it. Alright, there we go. With that, everyone began running for the exit. And wait, where the fuck? As she was racing and yelling lame, dirty jokes, the guards were getting closer. That is till, stay back, boys. I'm not wearing anything underneath this towel. Grab me and I might fall off. It might fall off. I was naked as the day I was born. Then everyone holding me down will be blackmailed for exposing a woman in public. With that, she took out some cards and tossed them into the air since there was still some people around. Everyone started trying to collect them. Naruto catch one to see it's a picture of a girl exposing her panty collar chat without a skirt. Seeing the Destiny Squad trying to calm everyone down, Naruto made his escape, poking the picture without realizing he noticed at the convenient rope tied to his side, leading down to the street below. Not wanting to waste chakra, and possibly of anyone seeing him, he jumped down and landed safely. He used the rope and made his escape. 10 minutes later, Naruto managed to meet back with Tonichi, explaining what almost happened and his escape. Of course, his hands were a little raw from the rough rope, but he was fine. They managed to get a couple of seats in the necessary meeting for the new school year. Of course, when the assembly started with the student principal president introducing herself as Anna, Naruto saw the dreamy look Tonichi was giving her. Then after they were in the same class, with Naruto saying Tonichi rewatching the speech Anna gave with a goof smile. Hey Naruto, can't you believe someone so pure can give such a speech? Not really answering since he knew his friend was in the world of his own. At the moment, Naruto sighed, sitting at his desk next to Tonichi, at his ear, and voice from below. Uzumaki's son. Blinking for a few times, Naruto looked down and jumped, seeing a green-haired girl poke her head out between his legs. Naruto suddenly jumped and caught Konichi's attention, and even he was surprised at the girl between Naruto's legs. Up upon it, the girl continues in a mountain. Hi, my name is Honeka Yoneko. Sorry, I didn't do this exactly the normal way. Oh, okay. It didn't sound like a question, but more an order. Hold on. Ah, fuck. Anyway, I found it. But I have several questions to ask you. It didn't sound like a question, but more like an order. Moving himself slightly between Naruto's legs, making him lean back, feeling uncomfortable at the possibility through she asked, "Can you or Okana-san please tell me where babies come from and how they are created?" Naruto's and Tonichi at the same time replied, "Huh?" Not knowing how to respond at such a question, Fua still continued, "I need to know the principal process and please be as detailed as possible." Of course, because of the PMs, Naruto couldn't yell, "What the hell? Why the fuck would you ask such a thing?" But as calm as the situation would follow, "And why do you want to know such a thing? I mean, it's not my place to say, even though I know." He thinks the last part to himself, since he didn't have a superpower for a teacher. Since he does have a superpower for his teacher. Fuck. Alright, anyways, it's pretty much obvious what he knows. The science club president nods her head and replies, "Yes, I know it's not your place, but the moment, because you and Okama-san are the only ones who knew, since everyone here is to invite about it. Since you come from America when you were 14, you were no doubt given the option of information for how babies were created and how they are born." I widened at the ghost, saying that Naruto expands, "How did you know that?" She firmly says, "I looked through your student files in the teacher's lounge. It was quite easy." Tonichi was surprised at that and explains, "That's illegal." But she just ignored it and continues, looking at Naruto, and begin explaining how everything was a lie by the government to keep private things forbidden, how she went around asking how babies was created, even the president's mothers, pregnant mothers at the hospital, and how she was banned from there and everything. Fumo then started climbing up. Naruto grabbed his shoulders, their face an inch from each other, still talking and asking demonic situation, making both Naruto and Tonichi uncomfortable. Both boys didn't even know how to answer her question. That is till someone dropped a school bag on Fu's head, stopping her. Naruto and Tonichi see the other girl with glasses and a built tail holding the bag. She told the two new students how they were invited to the council. Of course, Naruto felt somewhat between his legs, since Fua was pressed against his part, though she kept asking about these things just before Naruto and Tonichi has left, and asked Naruto if all the boys come here and easily snapping where it as a big ass or it is just him. Oh my fucking god. I cannot read today. Of course, both of the boys rushed to the council room before answering, though Naruto had eye twitch They both met in the council where they were introduced to Yurume, Anna and the gorilla boy, Oki. Of course, could cause after the introduce Anna, then explain how she wants both Naruto and Tomodachi into the council because they're known knowledge, and explain since Naruto lived in America and Tomodachi's father, they both had an understanding of anything perverted. Of course, Tomodachi agreed to join, though Naruto was rethinking. He agreed to it since he enjoyed fooling perverts in Konoha. It might be fun stopping them here, though not nearly as much. After everything, he was ordered Anna and then asked Yurume to give a tour for the two freshmen around town. Both Naruto and Tomodachi follow Yurume into the old coffee bar, where she then started telling them that she is Blue Snow and what her goal is, as well as blackmailing of both of them with the rope that Naruto used to escape, with saying that because Naruto was a friend of Tomodachi, he would get caught along with him, with his father and everything. She then explains to them her phone, why she wants to flip the bird to the model, and how the school has become so native that no one knows what perverted and what not, all the while making lame dirty jokes and flipping her phone open. Of course, Tomodachi was still against it, but Naruto was open-minded that he agreed. But Tomodachi had to be threatened by Yurume about being Anna's first best friend, as well as his information towards Anna, with Tomodachi yelling out how this idea was agreed and necessary. Okay. The next day, Naruto found himself tied to a chair in the lab with Fullback across from him, seeming to be about something. The last thing he remembered was opening his shoe locker with a purple gas escaping from it, since he was caught off guard because there were no ninjas in this world, and the gas was different. Brian Full was easily caught him. She then started explaining where Naruto was and her reason. That the thing that freaked Naruto out was the fact that she was showing him two flies having sex. Yes, sex with flies, causing him to run off. Of course, he come out of the boys' toilets with Tomodachi having head that the boys were thinking about. They couldn't help but feel sorry for everyone, since no one knows how to have sex and everything is so messed up that it's like hearing a bunch of kindergartens calling ghosts disgusting and not as cute. After meeting up with Yurume, Naruto then explained what happened with and what the boys were talking about. After hearing what Fido's stalking, Yurume had an idea for a new sex tourist attack at the school necessary on the weekend. So in that mind, Naruto and Tomodachi became the distraction, while Yurume used pictures and the files from Furu's lab to create a sex scene. Oh my god, I remember that fucking. Oh my god. Everyone on the floor, the authority was supposed to have made a symbol of a woman's vagina, all the while Naruto was running around throwing pictures around to keep people guessing. The start of SOX began. I think this is where it stopped, so there's only the one part, so yeah. if I could find another story like this, I probably like the same one with this type of anime, I might read it, but no, I will, but there's only 2 chapters. So yeah, I see you guys in the new series. Bye bye.